deeply connected to the depth of meaning of today and the way we solve every problem, including problems of division and anger and rage, is in a process of going from hello to yes. So that's like what's at stake. And it's not only at stake for our money, for our time, for our business, but for our leadership and for our nation and the world. So, Laurel, I thank you so much for being here. And how are things in California going for you today?
They are going great. We have some dark skies and crazy red sun from the fires, but everything is well. Thank you.
I know it's crazy stuff going on. I'm coming from Sedona today, as you mentioned, on the blessed and privileged to be on the Tony Robbins Platinum Lions trip. And yeah, it's a lot of interesting things going on in the world. And so thank you, Lorelei, for being here and just picking up the energy, because we want to greet our awesome guests with a lot of heart-centered warmth, fun, and love. Who we got today, Lorelei?
Okay, so start with our amazing contestants. We have Don Pett. In 2012, Dr. Donald Pett founded and directed the Educational Community, a nonprofit organization. His mission is to teach Einstein's solution to create sustainable world peace and prevent the predicted use of weapons of mass destruction, primarily nukes. He does this job by teaching a newer way of thinking that rapidly transforms win-lose competition to win-win cooperation for mutual benefits. His vision is to inspire a 1 million-member movement of Einstein's World Peace Army, as 2 alcoholic men initiated AA worldwide in a relatively short time. And in the 1970s, Don was a consultant to the White House, to their Special Action Office on Substance Abuse. So welcome.
Wow. I mean,
hi everyone.
Wholly impressive, sir. And how would you like me to refer to you today, Doctor?
Don is fine.
All right, Don, thank you. Extraordinary. So if you wouldn't mind sharing how, in a brief kind of overview, Don, how does Einstein's work, which I am sure I think I'm at least remotely familiar with, or probably completely ignorant to, fit into this incredible mission that you're on?
Well, Einstein told us that basically we have the ability to attain self-mastery, to be in charge of our own life experience. And the way we do that is by the words that we use. We are the only species that uses language. And language enables us to engage in imagination. Imagination enables us to see past, present, and future and decide what we'd like for our future. So the basic issue is we've created the new word changes. We call them word switches that teach people rapidly a newer way of thinking where people cooperate instead of compete with one another in win-lose. The last thing is that we're happy to say the U.S. Trademark Office awarded us the name Genie Seminar, our own trademark name, as a new method of education where people come together in meetings like this, using virtual meetings to share or co-create our genius to solve life's important problems.
Nice.
Awesome. Oh my goodness, yeah, right, Laura. Like the synergies are like shocking.
I was amazed with your talk this morning, which I thought was fabulous, and I would really like to use it on some of our programs if we can get a recording.
Yeah, I'm honored, and I'd love to talk more, because I feel like talking for like 5 hours right now and asking you a million questions and going back and forth. So and this is one of the outcomes of the Real Raw. It's coming together with amazing people and beginning relationships. So thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to hearing.
My honor, really.
Yeah, thank you, Don. Thank you, Lorelei. Well, amazing. So, and we have another fine and amazing participant.
We do. Our next contestant is Veronica. She's a senior financial advisor with the largest fiduciary in the U.S. called CapTrust. Her specialty is complicated financial planning and multi-generational planning for clients. Veronica is the author of the Money Matters series of books, and book 2 comes out on October 1st, and that's called Money Matters, Merging Lives, Merging Finances. Welcome.
Veronica, thank you for being here. And where are you coming from today?
Thanks, Sean. I'm from Long Island, New York, actually. So streaming live from my house, which is pretty much everybody else, right?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
do I accurately recall, and forgive me if I'm incorrect, that we spoke maybe 2 months ago? Am I right about?
You are absolutely correct. We've spoken several times, actually. Yes. And every time has been great. And actually, you were one of the last people I saw before shutdown after Tony's birthday.
That is unbelievable. I do. Yeah, I remember all of this clearly. And this is bizarre. This is an incredible day. Don, yourself, yeah. I was literally, honest to God, I shouldn't say that, congruently, like, and it's not in a weird way. I was thinking about you like 3 or 4 days ago. I'm like, yeah, I had that great conversation with Veronica. There's all the great stuff she's up to in New York. Like, yeah, I want and now you're here today. That's
yes, thank you. And I'm so excited to be here with Don. Wow, what an honor. And we're as we're talking about this, I'm looking to launch, a nationwide financial literacy program that's part of the kind of the process behind the books on educating people on financial literacy. And so I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot from Don and this whole experience as how to make that happen in the world.
Oh, beautiful. And quick fun fact about you.
Quick fun fact about me. Let's see. I play 3 different instruments, all of them not too well. Guitar, piano, and clarinet.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, and Don, if you don't mind, a fun fact about yourself, something we might not expect, and yeah, fun fact.
Well, I have great fun in my thoughts, the ability to think and have a conversation with yourself when you enjoy talking to yourself about all the different things is one of the most fun things that I could do, and I can do it regularly, and you all can do it regularly too. 24 hours.
I'm not the only one.
As long as you're awake.
Well, what amazing. And I'll share my fun fact, and then we'll get to the judges. So my fun fact is that I'm legally blind, and I taught a blind guy to surf 2 weeks ago. So that's my fun fact.
Wow.
So Lorelei, who are our amazing judges?
Okay, so our first judge is Barbara Maynard. She is the CEO of Avenue Solutions based in Southern California. Her company specializes in providing strategic solutions to the rising cost of employer-sponsored health insurance, increasingly dire health outcomes, and the imperative to protect employees' paychecks and healthcare inflation. And following a career as a director of budget and finance for a prominent local government official, Barbara established herself as the leading consultant to and advocate for social and worker justice groups, focusing specifically on public policy, government budgeting, multiple finance and pension funds, economic analysis, research, strategy, and employee relations and benefit innovations. And after 25 years as a consultant, Barbara is now just days away from launching Avenue Activist, a digital ecosystem to educate, inspire, and engage those fighting for justice. Wow, welcome here.
Barbara, like rock star people up to platforms and big things in the world all over the place. Thank you for being here. Where are you coming from today, Barbara?
I now am quarantined up in Mammoth Lakes, California. I'm an avid snow skier and have a 16-year-old ski racer. So we moved up here for her high school years. And I was going back and forth between here and LA for work, and then COVID hit. And I thought, well, I guess this is where I'm going to be for a while now. And then Zoom has taken off, so maybe I'll never leave. I don't know.
Barbara, have you ever skied K22 up at Tahoe?
I have. Yes, I have. Yeah, yes. That's where actually I grew up skiing. So.
Oh, no way. So the Chinese downhill is not far from there. Is that right?
I think that's right. Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy things that happen. So.
Yes, that is very fun and true. Yeah. And yes, as a blind skier, I had the unique privilege in a blizzard of skiing K22 with my son giving me audio assist. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So.
That's awesome. Here in Mammoth, they have a really big disabled sports program, and they take a lot of blind skiers out. And I've been thinking about when I'm not working quite so hard or chasing around after a 16-year-old of volunteering my time there and helping folks. So.
Well, thank you. And thank you for what you're up to in the world and for your time today. Yeah.
You got it.
So Lorelei.
Okay, so we have another amazing judge who's a super rock star. Faith Knutson is a sole entrepreneur, podcaster, author, and consultant, and is the founder of Carry Faith on Purpose. Carrie helps sole entrepreneurs and small businesses personally brand themselves while creating a mission, movement, and message behind their products or services so they can bring other like-minded fans and customers on that journey to make a lasting change in the world. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
Yeah,
Hi,
awesome.
Don.
Hey, and would you like to go by Carrie or Carrie Faith? What's best?
Carrie or Carrie Faith?
What's your preference?
You can call me Carrie Faith.
All right. Thank you, Carrie Faith. And welcome. Where are you coming from today?
I am in Oregon, 20 miles south of Portland. So I am in the hot zone of the fires, although safe and sound. We have the worst air quality in the world, so I'm staying inside. And I'm just grateful to be here.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. And how about a quick fun fact?
Well, a fun fact about me is that I'm a former certified sommelier turned entrepreneur, and I'm an avid skier. I grew up skiing in Mammoth Lakes, California.
Oh my God, skiing is like in the house today. And right, amazing. And Barbara, how about a fun, how about a fun fact?
About me or Barbara?
No, Barbara, I was saying, because Barbara, I don't think I asked Barbara about a fun fact of hers.
You're muted.
Sorry, let me unmute. I apologize. Let's see. Fun fact about me. I hit 40 years old and I realized, oh gosh, I've been working so hard. I forgot that I wanted to have a family. So I flew almost all the way around the world and I found a child in Uzkemedogorsk, Kazakhstan. And she is now, I got her when she was 1 and she's now 16. And that's, she's at that age where she's driving me crazy, but I love her to death. And we're like 2 peas in a pod.
And she's tearing it up on a ski mountain. So thank you for that, Barbara.
She is.
Awesome.
She rocks it.
All right. So Barbara, Carrie Faith, skiing is in the house, Lorelei, and we have a final judge.
We do. We have Brad Blazer. Brad is the former founder and CEO of a small oil company based in Austin, Texas, which he started at the age of 23. Brad is the author of On the Wings of Eagles, Learn to Soar in Life, which is the #1 on the list of top-rated read for young entrepreneurs and best books for entrepreneurs. And Brad is also the host of Beast Nation, the second highest ranking podcast by Yahoo News, Yahoo Finance, as well as Business Insider to help people cope with COVID-19. He's currently business and personal coach to individuals in 6 countries around the world. Welcome.
Right. It's a pleasure to reconnect. I had the privilege of being on your amazing podcast and being blown away by all the things that you've done, sir. And welcome to The Real Raw.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah. And how about a fun fact?
Fun fact, I'm an avid triathlete and I enjoy making wine. We're got Carrie Faith, the sommelier, so maybe we'll have to send you some.
Well, there you go. Like all kinds of fun stuff in the house. So super appreciate you. And again, I'm sorry, you're coming from Texas today?
Coming from a suburb west of Houston. Yep, out here in Texas. Correct.
All right. Very cool, Brad. Well, absolute pleasure to have you here. And Lorelei, do we have a role player?
We do. We do, with an incredible background of the Northern Lights. So Donna Grooms, she believes you either go big or go home, which she did. In fact, from graduation to retirement, she worked at the Colgate-Palmolive Company and, get this, became a 4-time Hall of Fame winner with the Colgate-Palmolive Company. And now, as a passionate realtor at New Jersey Realtors, she received the Circle of Excellence 2019 Bronze Level Award, and she's also a military relocation professional. Welcome.
DG is in the house. What's up, Donna?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. How are you today?
I am well today.
All right. Well, it's
Awesome
wonderful to
today.
have you. How about a fun fact, Donna?
Okay, so I'm sitting here trying to think of something new. You know what? I don't know if you would call it fun, but I'm a lifesaver. I've been in a situation where I had to think fast on my feet. I was driving home one day and I saw a gentleman He was on his bike and he was laying out on the side of the road. I stayed with him until, EMS came. And it didn't happen once. It didn't happen twice. It happened 3 separate times in my life.
Oh my
And I
God.
was able to help these people, come back from the brink of death.
Wow.
Donna, that's a crazy
Amazing.
fun fact. That's like
I
that should have
know.
been like a month ago. That's amazing. So welcome. Are you coming from New Jersey today, right, Donna?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Donna's in the house. So Lorelei, awesomeness is present. So let us begin on this fun Friday. So here's how it works, guys. The genesis of what we're doing here was a long time ago in a galaxy not far, far away. I realized that influence was a superpower that I didn't even come close to understanding. And I realized that it freed people's capacity to have impact, to have time freedom, to experience magic, and to have the financial abundance that they desired, whatever that meant to them. And these are things I didn't know. And I was privileged to read Tony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within. It set me down a journey of reading the likes of Jay Abraham and Napoleon Hill and Dale Carnegie and Og Mandino and all kinds of other thought leaders like Malcolm Gladwell and others in the space of influence and Robert Cialdini. And and I own a law firm and I have 125 people that work there. And I'm one of only 2 attorneys in the country that had 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 16, not because of me, because of what Don was talking about, the power of language, because without language, we have no container to make anything happen. Like at one point, people wanted to rub 2 sticks together or hit some rocks and flint together, make fire. And then we had language and it kind of kept building. And language creates human technology. Peter Drucker said, all business is marketing and innovation, but there is no marketing and innovation, I humbly believe, without the power of what Don said and what I agree with, language, which creates the ability for human technology. I think that's what we're all up to. So we're going to unpack that a little bit and have some fun today with it, where Don and Veronica, we're going to have Donna be anybody they want her to be. And what it's all about is what a yes that they're seeking in the world would be. Like maybe it's a yes to donate to a charity, a yes to listen to a podcast or a talk, a yes to become a client, a yes to become a strategic partner. Whatever that yes would be, that's what Don and Veronica are seeking from Donna, right? With integrity, heart-centeredness. And so the way the game works is it's going to be a 6-minute conversation for each of them, but broken up in half. So at 3 minutes, Donna's going to have to take a phone call, and it will not be necessary, Don and Veronica, to set the second half of the conversation. She'll be right back. And in the first half, all we'll be assessing, these fine judges will be assessing, is how open Donna's listening became, how much she moved into her heart, how opening her listening became, how much she was sharing freely and authentically. Because I think influence begins with what Oprah Winfrey said was why she held the microphone for 30,000 people. Because each of those people, she told, through her listening, through her presence, her energy, and her words, I see you, I hear you, and what you say matters to me. And if anybody's saying yes to us authentically, they have to feel heard, seen, and understood. So that's where we drop in for round 1. So let's go this way. Veronica, I'm in Arizona today. So how about this? Veronica, I have a 1 or a 2 under the table. What do you think it is?
I think it's a 2.
It is a 2. Excellent. So would you like to go first or second?
First.
All right. And so who would you like Donna to be?
Donna's going to be herself.
Nice.
Her
All right.
awesome realtor self.
Boom. Veronica, I think I've seen this game before. I think she's ready to go. So Veronica, you have 3 minutes in round 1. And remember, it's one elongated conversation. So don't feel rushed. You don't have to sell anything. You could be getting a yes on a longer meeting, whatever makes sense to you as a yes. And so with 30 seconds to go, I'll hit you with the 30 seconds. And then we'll have a soft stop at 3 minutes. Take a quick break. Donna will come back to continue in a bit after that. So please take us in, Veronica.
Awesome. Hey, Donna, how you doing?
Hello, Victoria. How are you? I'm sorry, Veronica. How are you?
That's okay. Everybody does that. And I have friends named Victoria that everybody calls Veronica. So it's all good. So you're a realtor in New Jersey. How long have you been a realtor?
Actually, I've only been a realtor for 3 years. It was
Wow.
something that came up unexpectedly, and I wasn't planning on going back into the workforce after I retired. It was a suggestion of my son, and I thought it was a great idea because he said, "Mom, you are great with people, and I think you would do well. And you always have an open heart for helping. So why don't you try that?" And I did.
Wow, that's beautiful. And do you know by chance how many realtors are there in New Jersey?
Around 7,300 realtors.
Wow. And what do you think sets you apart from everybody else?
I think, you know what? I received a phone call from um, a potential buyer, and she was having difficulty finding the right agent. And realtors are very territorial. So I told her I wish I could help her. I pointed her in the right direction. I gave her some insight about mortgages and who to go and where to get the best mortgage rates. And she was a police officer. And I took the time to listen. And she said, "I really wish you could be my realtor." And I said, "I don't know that area." However, I put her in touch with someone just like me.
Mhm.
And she actually called me this morning, and it warmed my heart. She actually put in an offer, which was accepted, and she thanked me for putting her on the path. So I thought, that's why I became a realtor.
That's
Not
amazing.
necessarily the money, it's the gratitude that I get at the end of the day.
That's amazing. It sounds like you got really resourceful in this situation. That's absolutely beautiful. And you were able to give her a solution, even though you weren't the solution. That's really cool. And I think you're actually right on the money. It's that level of resourcefulness can really just make such a huge difference in a home buying experience. I bought my home not too long ago, so I can actually relate to the
Oh, wow.
buyer that you're working with for sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Was it your first home?
It is my first home, yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And it was scary. I mean, it's one of the largest purchases you'll ever make. And if you don't have the right people behind you, your team, so to speak, it could be a very scary transaction.
For
And
sure.
my goal is to make it so seamless. Like, did I just buy a house? Yeah,
30
you did.
seconds.
Awesome. And what do you think are your buyers' biggest fear points? Because you seem to know a lot about, getting into the mind space of the buyer.
It's after the closing. It's number one, making sure they purchase the right house for themselves, even though, it may have all the criteria. And after the home inspection, they still love the house, but am I making the right decision? This is so big. Can I afford it? Their job situation, everything, all these emotions come into play. And it's my job. And what I do is reassure them that you have all your ducks in a row. You have a great income, you have good savings, you did your planning. We did our research on the home. It's sound. We have the home inspection. So you have everything in line. And as long as you reassure every step of the way, and also explain to them every step of the way what they're getting themselves into, it's not a surprise at the end. And I have one client, she bought her forever home. Her first home is her forever home. And that was scary because I'm like, oh my God, she's not going to buy another house after this. So I have to make sure it's the right house, right neighborhood. She has no children. So I know she wants to start a family. The school system is important. I had to research everything to make sure that this will be her forever home.
Hey, Donna.
And
Donna, you have a quick call. We're going to take a quick break.
Yes.
And you'll be right back. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Veronica, how'd that feel for you?
That felt great. I think I really got to know Donna, and I got to know her clients a little bit and what her clients are thinking about, which was really Great.
Your energy is infectious, and you had Donna like deep in her heart and present and flowing, and so that was an outstanding job. Great job, Veronica.
Thank you.
Yeah, Donna, how would you assess that connection?
I would say the same thing. Oh my God, she made me open up. She was great. I mean, if I was a judge, I would probably give her a 9. She was awesome.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for that. Don, are you ready, sir?
I am ready.
And who would you like Donna to be, sir?
Well, if you don't mind, I would like you to be Sean. I don't know if you can trade genders a little bit, but I'd like you to be a guru, someone who is very popular and has a big following, and is quite proficient in what you do. You're well known, famous, and I'm just calling you.
All right, Donna, take us in.
Can I just ask you one more question about that role play? I'm very famous, yes. What genre? What area?
Mostly self-help, helping people remove their beliefs that are not very effective.
Donna, what do you drop in?
A Jack Canfield, a Brian Tracy kind of an individual, or Sean kind of a person.
Right up my alley.
Got it.
All right, Donna. Yeah, please take us in.
Hi, Donna. I thank you for taking my call. I really appreciate it. I know you're a very busy person, and you're certainly famous, and I appreciate your being willing to spend a little time to take this call with me. But I have something that I'd like to offer you that I think would really be helpful. So maybe you could tell me a little bit about what seems to be most passionate in your life at this time. I know, what is it that you're trying to do with all the people you're working with?
Well, Don, hello, and you're right. I am in the space of helping others, getting them heart-centered. So when they are in their professions, no matter where they are in life, they're succeeding at a high level, they're performing, and they're obtaining their goals, and they're seeing their actual selves. And yes, I'm busy, but never, ever too busy to take a call from you. And one of my passions is to basically help others to get to that space, to make sure that they are at a level of achievement. And I do that through the power of influence and integrity, and also heartfelt, and using their passions to get to where they want to be in life.
Well, that's
Does
wonderful.
that answer your question?
It sure does. You know, I share your passion, and it's so important that we are passionate about what we do in life, isn't it? That one of the things that makes us most happy is when we can do what we really want to be doing, and we're very passionate that way. You know, a wise person told me that one of the ways we can find out a little bit about what people are really into is to ask this question, if I might, of you. What would you like to be on your epitaph after you die? Do you ever think about that? How would what would you like to be your legacy to the people in your life, your loved ones?
You know, that's a great question. I just would like people to remember not necessarily me, but the work I've done, and the opportunity that I was able to allow others to achieve. So it's not necessarily about me, but about my impact on the world,
30 seconds.
and what I've done to impact people on a personal level.
That's quite a wonderful passion, and you know, from all that I've heard about you, you're doing that. And I'd just like to ask you another question, if I might. This is not a trick question, but what is the one thing that people need to know, but they don't know that they don't know it? Something that you can't buy, no one has it, And I'm asking you this because the group that I represent, my nonprofit corporation, has it and offers it free to people. But do you have any thoughts about what that might be?
Ooh, you're asking me some really deep questions. That's a hard one. Ooh,
I know it was a hard one, but I know you've got a very limited amount of time, but let me tell you what I think and what others think. Would that be okay with you?
that would be awesome.
Hey, Donna, can we pick it up right there with Don coming back in just 1 minute? You get a quick phone call.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Don, excellent work, sir. How'd that feel for you?
Just good. I didn't get a chance my last sentence, but that's okay.
I'm sorry. You're going to pick it up right there for next round perfectly. So thank you. And let's drop in. So judges, if we could, we're going to give 30 seconds of feedback to each of Veronica and to Don. And we're really just talking about the openness of listening, the depth of connection, and maybe putting a little something at stake, for Donna in that round one. And Carrie Faith, what do you have for feedback for Veronica and a score on a scale of 1 to 10?
So Veronica, I would score an 8.5.
Okay.
Around a 8 to 9, 8.5. I loved how in the very beginning, when Donna made the mistake of her name, that she just made it like, oh yeah, I get that all the time. So it really made both of them, I feel like, feel more comfortable and allowed Donna to open up. And that's what Veronica did really well at, was allow Donna to open up. She asked very personal and professional questions so that there was an ability for Donna to talk about herself, because everyone just loves to talk about themselves. Just a little bit where I could see Veronica kind of sharing a little bit more about her personal self as well, so that it would be gain a deeper understanding, having that equilibrium. So maybe why Veronica was asking those questions, or a little personal story behind Veronica, I would like to know.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Carrie Faith. And how about for Don?
So for Don, he asked I would give Don a 9. Don asked really deep-seated questions, which I could see Donna not struggling, but Donna was, had her wheels turning, and I love deep-seated conversation and those wisdomful conversations. So Don, you did a very good question, getting really deep with Donna right off the bat and asking her personal mission behind the deep-seated why, and how you said a wise person once told me, and so you were gaining your past experiences and bringing it into the present. So I really like that. And what could you improve? I want to know more about you. and I also like that you said right off the bat, you told her you had an outcome. That's something that I kind of like, that you were very transparent. You said you'd like to offer her something. That was really the purpose of the conversation.
Well, that is awesome. So great job. Thank you. And how about, let's go, Barbara. What did you have for Veronica?
Okay, so for Veronica, same thing that Carrie Faith said, absolutely phenomenal energy. I would put you right around an 8, because I felt that sometimes, and this is a little bit what Carrie Faith said, but you were grilling her, and that there wasn't a lot of space for Donna to get to know you. So it was like kind of firing questions at her instead of sometimes giving just a little bit of space. I felt like if I was in Donna's shoes, I might be going, whoa, slow down just a little bit. But your energy was phenomenal. So with just a really minor tweaking, that might be helpful. Then, and some people may be great with that. I might kind of go, whoa, slow down just a smidge. And then this is just a really weird technical thing, and it might not be appropriate here, but because we are living in Zoom world, I'm finding it very hard to connect with you because of the light behind you. Your face is almost muted out. And so as a result, I'm struggling to see your face. Whereas Donna's face, I can see, everybody else's face, I can see really well. And I like to really connect with people and look in their eyes. So I would encourage you to maybe move your Zoom camera. Not so much right now, it's not the big deal, but there you go. Nope, there's too much light there too. It's just the big light behind you makes it tough. So I want to be able to see your eyes, and I connect through eyes. So that's my thought there.
Awesome, Marie. How about for Don?
For Dawn, you are, again, I don't want to just echo Carrie Faith, but she's so dang good at this, I will. Same sort of thing, a depth there that I thought was wonderful. And just, you're a very relaxed kind of person. And given the different world that you're in from Veronica, I think that's really great. But again, I'd almost sprinkle in a little bit more of kind of the why. Why are you asking these questions? Because you're a person I want to know. I find myself wanting to understand, well, gosh, why are you asking these questions? Because these are beautiful questions. And so I'd like to know more about you without sort of stealing Donna's oxygen, but just a teeny bit more of that in there. So I would give you an 8.5.
All right, excellent. And Brad, by the way, I think I stated there was a gentleman who has a super successful podcast also, who's in the oil business that I was on. I don't think I've been on with you yet. Is that correct?
Not yet. That's correct. We're trying to get you on.
Yeah, no, I will. Thank you. I just literally was like, wait a minute. And because I can't see, but when I heard you speak, I'm like, that's not the voice. So you were here on the Real Raw Open, I remember. So thank you.
I was on Real Raw as a contestant, but you would definitely remember being on Beast Nation.
Yeah, as soon as I heard you speak, I'm like, nope, that was not. Yeah, okay, thank you. But interestingly, from Texas, very successful entrepreneur like yourself, podcast. Yeah, it was very, very funny.
You can think who that is. I would love to meet him. Always interested.
I would I'll make the introduction for sure.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah. So what do you have for Veronica?
For Veronica, great job. I feel like Simon Cowell here on America's Got Talent, great job, great energy level. I think you asked a lot of really, really good questions. I would kind of agree with Carrie Faith and give you about an 8.5. One thing I think that both you and Donna can benefit from is what I have found in my career in actually coaching people on this to become people of interest and leverage influence and really get people from around the world seeking you out, is we coach on something called an explanation of service, which is leading with your beliefs. Because what I have found in business is people that are like-minded, that have similar beliefs, there's a natural immediate attraction. And so whenever I call somebody and I introduce myself, I say, Sean, I just want to share with you a couple of my beliefs. And then I ask, do you believe the same things? And if they say yes, I know there's an instant attraction. But great job. I think you did wonderful. I think you asked a lot of great questions. And of course, I think that you really established rapport with Donna within the first 30 to 45 seconds. So, that's something that's very important, is to establish that immediate rapport.
Beautiful job, sir. How about for Don?
Don, I think you did great. I think that,
for Don, I'm sorry, for Don. Yeah.
Oh, for Don, I'm sorry. For Don, yeah, I think Don did great as well. Very, very even paced. Great questions. I think that if it were me, what I might have chosen to do is leave some of those deeper, thought-provoking questions maybe for the second call, to really establish a little bit more of a relationship, maybe a little bit more base of trust with somebody before they actually open up. Because I think it was maybe Carrie said, or maybe it was Barbara that said, you could see Donna's mind kind of trying to come up with a response to some of those more difficult questions. But I would give Don, about an 8.5 as well. Both did very, very well.
Awesome, Brad. Thank you, sir. Great job from our wonderful judges for today. And Dawn is back, Dawn, and she's ready to pick up that conversation at that cliffhanger moment. So Dawn, please take us in for round 2.
Yes. Hi, Donna. Welcome. It's so nice to speak with you again. And as always, it's so pleasant to be willing to receive me and what I have to offer. But I left you kind of at a cliffhanger there, where I asked you a question and then I didn't get you the answer. So I want to pick up this up. Would that be okay with you at this point? I asked,
Sure.
what is the one thing that people don't know that they would like to know? And the answer that I have is that we're more interested than anything else in the people we love, the safety of our loved ones. Do you have some loved ones in your life that are come before anything else?
I have a wonderful wife and family that I adore and doubt on. And they mean the world to me. So, yes, I would say that would be my big why. And recently, or not so recently, but one of the things that I remembered as a child is spending holidays at a beach house. And one of my goals, one of my big whys was to keep that tradition going for my family. And I purchased a beach house, and we have great memories here. We create memories, and it's a place where we can all gather. And that, I would say, is a huge why for me.
It's quite obvious that you're very committed to your family and your loved ones. I don't know if you remember, but sometime January in 2018, there was a false alarm in Hawaii. The official agency said they were under nuclear attack, and a lot of people believed it. Of course, it was on the radio for 38 minutes.
Wow.
And what people did, the first thing they did was to bargain with God. They said they basically gave up everything. They gave up their money, whatever. And then the next thing they did was to call their loved ones. So we know the same thing that you're feeling, that I'm feeling, that my family is important to me. That's number one priority.
Yes.
I have, I've been married 63 years now. I have three sons and daughter-in-laws, and I have three great grandkids and one on the way. So, we really share that the most. So the reason I really would like to do, I didn't get a chance to do because you had such an urgent call before, but what I do, you see, is I teach people how to be happier than ever they could ever imagine they could be. Einstein told us the way we do that is we teach them the language, the way they can think, that enables them to learn to offer and realize what they have to offer to others. But instead of, most people, they're interested in money, they're interested in fame, they're interested in what they can get, basically. But it seems to me what we really need is the ability to give, and you so personify this in what you described to me last time we met. So what I'd like to ask you, would you be willing to give me a little more time that I can explain to you
30 seconds ago.
how it is that we can, the four qualities you see we teach that we think are the most important four qualities to have a safe world are help, H-E-L-P, happiness, enough, love, and peace. And everything we do, by the way, is free. It's non-commercial. We never asked anyone for money. And our goal is to create 1 million teachers of Einstein's solution to make a difference. Now, I know from what you've told me, boy, it's right down your alley. So I'd like to hear, what are your thoughts about all this?
Wow. I think that
10 seconds.
I think that's an awesome dream. I'm not saying that it's a dream that can't come true, because dreams can. And I'm my curiosity is very piqued. And you're right. That's why I'm doing all that I do. I would love to have another follow-up meeting with you to discuss how we could integrate that in the Unblinded movement.
Yeah. So Don, last 5 seconds, final response.
Well, the final response to Don would be, Don, I'm really looking forward because we're two peas in a pod here. And I think we can really mutually really benefit one another.
Awesome. Don, there's so much resonance and congruence, love, emotional and energetic transference from you. That's an outstanding job, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Veronica, you ready? Don is back.
Awesome.
All right, take us in, please.
Donna, welcome back from your call. I just want to pick up where we left off, because I was going to give you a compliment. You care so much about your clients, and it's so refreshing to see, because I've experienced a lot of realtors who just want to sell as many houses as possible. You seem to really get to know everything that's going on in the lives of your clients, so it's amazing.
I do. And it's very important to me that I make that connection, not just from a business and professional standpoint. I try to build lasting relationships. So
That's amazing.
I can pick up the phone on the holidays and say, hey, how you doing? How's the house coming along? Are you still in love with it? And just pick up and just say, I'm still here. I still want to be a part of your life. And they appreciate that. They view me not as just their realtor, which I think is great and it's awesome. But they view me as their friend. And to me, that's where my gratification comes in. That's where my payoff. That's
absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
That's amazing. And, I always like to tell clients when I first meet them, and I'll tell you a little bit about what I do, because it, everything you're saying just so echoes with my own philosophy. And I always like to say, I don't take on friends as clients, but I do make sure my clients become my friends, because that's really the long-term relationship is really where we're going. And I can see that you really feel the same way. And
Yes.
Would you agree that it's really important that the advice your clients get is in the best interest of the client?
Oh, without a doubt. That's the cornerstone of my business plan, is making sure that their needs, sometimes their wants. I mean, everybody likes to buy a house over what they can afford. So, but I make sure their needs are covered and I sprinkle some of their wants in. And I reassure them that, you know what, if it's not 100% today, have fun making it that. That's the part that's going to, create a home for you and your family.
That's amazing. I'd love to actually get together with you sometime, because I find that one of the things realtors really want to do is be able to provide their clients with a little bit of financial certainty when they make some of the biggest purchases they'll ever make in their lives. So we're actually able to quantitatively and qualitatively, just the numbers, making the numbers work, give them, sort of a foolproof analysis to show them that they absolutely can afford the home of their dreams, even if they thought they couldn't. And I think just working together so we can see if that meshes with your target market, you could take your business and really stand out from the other realtors in your area. Is that something that might interest you?
I am always looking for great people to grow my team and to set myself apart. And I can actually see, some of the services that you could probably provide some of my clients could be very, very beneficial. Absolutely. But I like to see more and see how that integration can actually happen.
10 seconds.
Awesome. So let's just find a time to meet. And, since we're both working in the best interest of the client, I think it'll be absolutely seamless.
Awesome.
Great.
Veronica. Excellent. Veronica, how'd that feel for you?
I felt awesome. And it's new. It's honestly new for me as I throw this out there, as I was thinking that financial advisors and realtors should work together. So it was convenient that you got on the call, because it was a good pivot, but it felt awesome because it's so true. Like big decisions, big changes in people's lives, it's all about who they have alongside them. And I can just tell that Donna's super passionate about making sure her clients make the right decisions. So it's just coincidentally, a great fit.
Yeah. Yes.
And Donna, I just want to share this. Your rising in mastery with your ability and your presence and your congruence, on the Real Raw and on like the live screen has been phenomenal. So great job today.
Thank you.
Yeah, really impressive. Okay.
Thank
So let's
you.
go. Yeah, let's go in reverse order today in this round. Let's go, Brad. What do you have for Don?
For Don, I think great job. I think that you did a little bit better this second go round. I think that simply implies you were listening to some of the feedback from the judges earlier. Asked some great questions, built some great rapport. I liked towards the tail end of the conversation where you were really asking Donna if she would like to learn more, almost like a call to action. So I would give you a 9 this time around.
Awesome. And for Veronica?
Veronica, I think, did much better as well. I like the fact that she immediately picked up on the idea that, it's one of the biggest financial decisions people make. And I think it's a great idea for real estate agents and people that are in the profession to perhaps bring in an advisor to provide some guidance and some counsel to people so that they feel a little bit more comfortable maybe purchasing a little larger home than one that they would normally customarily go out and buy themselves. So I think that was a great lead-in. I would give her a 9 as well.
Awesome. Excellent job, sir. And let's go, Barbara.
Unmute.
Yeah, muted, Barbara.
Sorry about that. I don't mean to just echo what Brad said in this case, but very similar. I felt like you both definitely improved a lot. Dawn, I really felt like you connected and really kind of made that connection to we're sort of two peas in a pod. Let's make this happen. We can really do this together. So I thought that was phenomenal. So I have to upgrade you to a 9.5 just for fun. And Veronica, definitely could connect with you better. Thank you for shifting your location. That was great. And my problem was that I kept thinking of ways you could make a lot of money here. Like I was immediately helping you in your business, which I suppose is a good thing. It means that you were actually doing a phenomenal job. And I thought that you really drew Donna in and made that connection and came up with ways that you guys had a lot of synergies. So that was really great. I'd give you a 9.
Excellent. Great job, Barbara. And yes, Carrie Faith, what did you have for Don?
Yes, Don. I give Don a 10 because I love his mission.
Carrie Faith throwing it down. No.
Yeah, I love your mission, Don, and my heart just melted. You remind me of my very wisdomful grandfather, and so there's just this emotion that is evoked in me, and so that's why I give you a 10. But also, in the beginning, you asked the question, but you answered it as well, so that was sharing a little bit of your personal self and vulnerability in it, allowed her to open up more comfortably. It was, you asked the right questions to understand her human needs, which was family. That was the significance, which drives all human behavior and decision-making processes. And so I think you did a very good job. And I want to learn the language of help. And so sign me up. Veronica, I'll give you a 9. And I think that you did a great job adjusting how you ask the questions by opening up, telling a personal story, disclosing a little bit about your beliefs in the beginning of the conversation and shared some personal information. And you also just did a great job of positioning how your expertise could help her and in her business and how that would place her as an advocate, place more advantage in her expertise as well.
Excellent work. So thank you, Carrie Faith. Judges, unbelievable job today, everybody. How about Veronica? Would you be up for just doing a little role play ourselves?
Yeah, happy
okay, awesome.
to.
So super thankful for you being here today, Veronica. And your energy is infectious. Have you always had that level of energy? Like, where'd that come from?
That came from thanks to Tony Robbins at UPW. I used to be actually really down and depressed and realized that it just was not me. Woke me right up.
Extraordinary. And what, like, but a lot of people would hear a message like that. Like, what did it mean to you and how does it fit into your life vision?
Tony said something that was, all of our experiences can the worst days of our lives can easily become the best, basically. And you can take that and leverage that and go and change the world. And he lives that example every day. And I thought, you know what, screw this. I'm going to go be me and change the world and live a legacy and a massive impact. Yeah.
Oh my God. How long ago did this happen?
This happened July of 2017.
Wow. And you've been on a tear since? Like, I mean, that's because a lot of folks step into the world of personal development, even in the genius space of Tony Robbins, and it doesn't
stick, right, for a lot of people, right? And Tony would always say that we're responsible to co-create, but like your resonance is like super present. What keeps you driving forward?
It keeps me driving forward is the why. I think that a lot of the things I struggled with in my life and things that I've had to overcome are fairly common, to be honest, in the world, unfortunately, and super common for women in our world today. And I think that, look, if I could do it, anyone else that comes after me can do it. And so I'm just on a roll to make that happen.
Oh, extraordinary. And what I'm hearing is that you're building a platform for yourself rooted in educating and unlocking things for people, not only about their finances, but about their life. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so many people, because finances aren't taught in school, it's one of those things where, the same thing, mindset mastery isn't taught in schools. How to handle relationships isn't taught in schools. How to have difficult conversations around money with your significant other. It's not taught in school, right? And all of these things, if they were, you would be better equipped to actually handle the real world. Even though I always make this joke, every tax season, I'm really glad I learned the Pythagorean theorem 17 times. I've used that a lot, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure we all have. And so what I'm really hoping to do is not just a platform with my voice. I'm looking to change how we educate children in this country long term.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. In the last 10 or 20 seconds we have, can I share a little bit about me?
Absolutely.
What you share about what's not taught in school could not resonate more highly for me. My life is dedicated to freeing people and freeing people from the frustration they have about actualizing their mission and dreams, rooted in their influence, the ability to go from hello to yes with people in an integrous and heart-centered way, and knowing what to do with it. So if it would make sense, I'd love to have a longer conversation, not generally to collaborate, but specifically of how the Real Raw and the Real Raw Open is creating massive acceleration in win-win ecosystem mergers. So if that makes sense for you, I'd love to have a conversation.
100%.
All right.
Sign me up.
So awesome. So give me some feedback. How did that feel for you, Veronica?
That felt really good. I think you dug really deep, really quickly. And it worked really well, actually, because I know you and we already have some rapport together, and that built more rapport when you found out not just, what I'm doing and what I'm creating, but how it happened, like what triggered the change. Because I think everybody wants to do more, create more, and whatnot. It's just that what that trigger is for them. And I think that you sparked that in me, actually. And I think that not only did you say, how we can collaborate, you said specifically on this thing, which
Right.
I know you have a lot going on and I'm doing a lot too. So it was really good to get to that like one point where our mission faces the same direction.
Yeah. Awesome, Veronica. And quick distinction for everybody, right? So I loved Barbara's feedback about not going too deep too early. And so the critical distinction that lies in like that micro space is, can the other person, if they're feeling authentically heard, like, so it's not like we're forcefully going there, right? But it sort of flows. And so when you said, Veronica, you were energized, I was acknowledging you, like, yeah, and this change happened. Like, what caused that change? Like, so it was a natural progression because you brought us to the space of like your life changed. And then it changed, like, why? How's it staying that way? Right. So those were like natural flow. And I want to check in with Barbara because your feedback was so brilliant earlier. And did you feel that it was natural or forced? Honestly, Barbara.
It was a little bit forced.
Okay.
A little bit forced that, and now knowing that it comes out of UPW, and I had a very similar experience and transformation from my first UPW, where I was in the doldrums and all of a sudden I was like, yeah, man, I'm on fire, I'm jumping. I'm sure that people wanted to go, Maynard, take it down a notch, right? Like, okay. So I've had to kind of learn to mitigate that a little bit and find my authenticity and my excitement for Tony. Because I'm a little cuckoo about it too. And so it's like, and so I felt like at the second half, you definitely brought it down just a smidgen and then kind of drew her in a little bit more. So, I think that, but I want you to know, I never had a moment where I felt like you weren't heart-centered. Like I'm not trying to say that at all. I totally felt like your passion, your energy, your love was there throughout without a question. So don't take that wrong at all.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, just, but yeah, just a little bit like, how could I take it down a little bit? So it's really that art of how do you draw somebody in and then start to go deeper,
Yeah.
It's just an art.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are so on that path, sister. You are really, really beautifully on that path.
Absolutely. And so, and the energy, just for everybody, Veronica's energy was super high. So my intention was to meet her at her high energy, acknowledging her there, and then slow us down and drop deeper into the heart. So, but it's not a perfect, as you said, it's an art, not a science. It's not perfect. So Barbara, thank you for everything today. And how was today for you? And if folks are like, hey, should I go on that real raw? What would you say?
I would say, yeah, absolutely do it. I mean, it's a great moment to hit the pause button for a full hour and just be present and be listening to other people instead of stuck in our own little heads. And to not only listen and give thought, but then also use that as an opportunity to critique my own self and think about how I can improve, how I'm communicating and how I appear to other people. So this was really terrific and grateful for the opportunity.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. And Carrie Faith, how was today for you?
It was such an eye-opening experience and educational, very heart-centered. I learned so much, not just through listening, but providing feedback and learning by example, modeling how the contestants and participants ask questions, answer them, how it is an art. So it's something we always have to refine and work at and lead with the heart in it.
Oh, awesome.
So I definitely would recommend anyone to come thank you.
Yeah. Well, what I would not recommend is doing the real raw on the back porch in the afternoon in Sedona, because there's like flies everywhere driving me crazy right now. So thank you though for that, Carrie Faith. And Brad, how about yourself, sir? How was today for you?
Today was great. I really enjoyed coming back on the other side of the table as a judge. Always great to give feedback, having been a contestant once before. I think that in communicating with people and learning from hearing everybody talk, you have to remember that when you're really building a relationship and you're building a conversation with another person, what they're thinking, of course, is, what's in it for me? In other words, what can you do for me? How can you help me? How can you bring value to my life? And I think Stephen Covey, in his book, 7 Habits, talks about really what we all need. And that is 4 things. He says, you're made up of a mind, you're made up of a body, a spirit, and a soul. And as somebody that has coached thousands of people, when I coach people, I say, you really need to have balance in all areas of your life. My good friend, Rock Thomas, who actually might be out there with you because he's a big Tony Robbins fan himself, says that he calls it becoming a fulfillionaire. So many people are growing in their wealth and they're so focused on money that they forfeit other things that are equally important, your relationships with other people, your fitness. And so great job, everybody. I really enjoyed being here today. I would tell anybody, if ever approached, definitely want to be on The Real Raw.
Well, thank you. Beautiful job today. Don, great job, sir. Truly inspired by your wisdom and resonance. And how was today for you?
I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I just wanted to say I want to give Donna a 10 because she made it so easy for people to open up to her. And that's a quality that's very special. And I just want to mention that, we have such limited time, but we have several websites, but Peace, PEACE.academy, www.peace.academy. It's all free. So anyone can go there. And not only is it free, but it's also all the recordings and so on are public domain, so you can use them to enhance anything that you're doing in your sales or whatever.
Well, amazing, sir. Truly, truly appreciate you and your mission in taking such intellectual concepts like the work of Einstein and dropping into such a heart-centered place. So thank you, Don.
Thanks, and I appreciate all the feedback, by the way. It's been great.
Thank you. Veronica, how was today for you as we get ready to take it home on this September 11th?
Today was absolutely amazing. I learned so much. I think, in my business and any client focused business, you kind of either get the client or you don't. It's not, you never like stop and analyze that often, like how I could do better, especially when you actually get the relationship or get the client. I know, Sean, you're really familiar with this. So I think this was brilliant. This was such a good experience for me. I was admittedly super nervous. However, you guys all did an amazing job making me feel comfortable. And I think all of the judges' feedback is just, it's another level of growth. And I think if you're always in that place where you're like, what's the next level I can take this to be better, to change the world faster, to help more people, that's everything. So thank you.
Thank you. Did a beautiful job. Everybody, Don, Veronica, Barbara, Brad, Carrie Faith, Donna, fantastic job today. September 11th. Hopefully all is peaceful, remembering any lost ones and all the people that we don't know that courageously, not only on September 11th, but forever in this nation and the world, have fought to protect freedom, truth, and integrity. So have a beautiful day and a great weekend. Thank you.